Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Your FearlessChoice.com, college basketball DFS, pre-lock live for Tuesday night. Big ass slate tonight. P. Cole here. I got a guest, co-host, Riley Picks 345. What's up, my man? How you doing?
Good. How you doing, Pete? I'm ready. Like you said, big slate. Lots of even matchups too, which is good. Doesn't really look like there's any big blowouts. So yeah, definitely an exciting one.
Yeah, this is actually one of the better sites of the year because usually you can make a lineup really quick, but tonight I kind of struggled a little bit. So just try and make preliminary ones. So anybody that's new, your FearlessChoice.com. Check us out. Small sports is our specialty, or niche sports, I should say. Things like college basketball, college football. We've been doing real well in college basketball, especially right now. Tennis is going on. The Australian Open starts tonight. I think it's 9 o'clock. I see Chris is in the room right now. I think it's 9. So a big 30K tournament going on tonight. We've been doing really well. Our content is free all week for that. Our cheat sheets we've had these cheat sheets for quite a few years now. They're one of the best in the industry. And then Chris does the top plays. Just go to our free Discord, go to the free tennis room. If you play DFS tennis, you can get all your questions answered there. There really isn't much else going on tonight besides hockey. I know it's like an 8-game hockey slate, but NBA is small. So it's all about college hoops. So any of you guys watching, let's just throw in the YouTube chat. If you guys see any news, please post it as we're talking. Because before we do get started, we do have a couple of news we need to know about the Michigan game. Hunter Dickinson, is he going to play or not? Him and Johns. If not, we have a bunch of values that we definitely want to play. The Northwestern game and Pete Nance. If Pete Nance is out, we have Ryan Young. We may want to throw in. They know it's a 9 o'clock game. And then some other guys like Trey Mitchell, trying to figure out if he's starting for Texas. But the main news is Michigan looking at before 7 o'clock. So if any of you guys see that, throw it in the chat. It can help us each other out. And what we're going to do is go through each game quickly. So we could talk this stuff for hours. We're pretty much just going to, based on DFS, our top plays for each game, cash, GBP, maybe just talk some pace and all that. Riley's a betting guy, a wagering guy. So if he sees a game that maybe he sees a good game to bet on, he can throw some ideas out for you guys there. But if not, ask away questions. I'll try to answer if I see them. If not, our producer will yell in my ear or try to answer them for you. So let's just get going. Actually, and the first game, 7 o'clock, is the Missouri-Mississippi game. Ole Miss. They're at Ole Miss, 134 over and under. Ole Miss is 7.5 point favorite. I don't know, bro. This is kind of a weird game because there is some DFS players I'm looking at in this game. It's not the greatest. I don't know. It's not the greatest DFS matchup, I guess. I mean, Missouri, terrible offense. They'll break like the 290s in defense. They just can't shoot. Ole Miss is like 200th in offense, 103rd in defense. Actually, they were even worse inside. But we do have some value here. So I'll take it first. So I'm just looking at Ole Miss, and we actually do have a couple possible cash plays here. And one of them is going to be Deshaun Ruffin. Ruffin is 6'2", right? The kid's been great. The kid's been great since he came in. His usage he's got almost a 30% usage right now over his last 5 games I see. 6'2", I could definitely use him in my main lineup. Some of my main lineups, I have him in it. He's a freshman, and he's home. I mean, they're at home right now, so 20% shot rate, high assist rate, almost 40% over his last 4 or 5 games. So I see Ruffin as a cash play. And then another guy, Ty Fagan, at 3,900, definitely a type of punt play. But Fagan has actually been playing a bunch of minutes also. So this is kind of a weird team. When you got a kid at 3.9 playing 25, 30 minutes, throwing up another usage of like 23%, I think Fagan's in play also. So I'm looking at Ruffin and Fagan from Ole Miss on my side.
Yeah, no, those I had Ruffin down. Like you said, this game's a little tough. The one thing I'd be cautious about Mississippi is they play a little slower. They played Auburn on Saturday night, which I watched, and I think their stats might be a little skewed just because Auburn's a very fast tempo team. So just be careful with that. But I do like Ruffin a lot. Yeah, as you said, just through the roof. He's a pretty solid player. I'm going to look at one guy in Missouri. I don't think it's going to be a surprise to anyone. That's going to be Kobe Brown here at 8.4K, which I think is a very good discount. Ole Miss, rebounding average. This guy's he's just kind of their everything. And really, I don't think Kobe Brown is good as, Jabari Smith or Walker Kessler from Auburn. But, those guys absolutely destroyed Ole Miss inside. Like I said, I watched the game. It was complete mismatch. I think he's going to have his way here. He's really only got Brooks on Ole Miss, 7-footer, but not really anything special inside. I think Brown's just going to. I think he's a double lock here. I think he can score a lot, but I really think he's going to get a ton of rebounds. He also, I think, I'd watch out, some blocks and steals because, you got Ole Miss guards. Really, it's a very guard heavy lineup, so I expect him to drive inside here. But yeah, I'm actually going to play. I think I'm going to be pretty heavy on Brown here. A little risky, but I like the price. Usually, he's a little more expensive. And Ole Miss, decent team, but not really. They're not playing Tennessee. They're not playing Kentucky. They're not playing Auburn or any. They're not playing. They're not really stepping up in class too much here. But for the most part, besides that, Ruffin Brown is where I'm looking. Not really like anything else. But yeah, I do like Brown a lot here though.
And I didn't really mention that the main reason we're looking at guys like Ruffin is Jarkel Joyner is still out.
Yep.
So that's obviously one of the main reasons. Kobe Brown to me is definitely like the poster boy for a GPP. He's got 25% usage, 23% shot rates. 30% combined rebounding, blocks, 3.1, 2.9 steal, all great rates. But then you look at his log. Against Illinois or against A&M, 25 DK, not bad. But then against Arkansas, only 12. Then Bama, 56. Kentucky, 15. So, he's up and down. So definitely boomer bust. But when you got your pedigree this year, 64 DK point games, 50, DK point games, he's the type of guy that can nuke a slate. It's not the greatest, it's not the greatest over. And it's not, it's not, I don't know, what's it, 134? So no, it's not low. It's actually lower than I thought it was. So
yeah,
to me, Brown GPP only, because I just think he's just too up and down for cash. But hey, that's how you win tournaments also, throwing guys like that in there.
Yeah.
Anybody else from missing? Louis Rodriguez isn't bad at 4-2. He's getting 25, 30 minutes GPP play. And that's pretty much it. Maybe Pickett's one. Javon Pickett, he's another one. He's playing crazy minutes, but that's it. I think his ceiling is 25 DK points all year. So the guy's playing like 35, 40 minutes. That's all you're going to get. So can't play him. All right. Next game we're looking at is South Carolina, Arkansas. Arkansas at home, favored by 12, 150.5 over under. Really good game environment. Two definite pace up teams. It's kind of weird though because two pace up teams, but also two actually decent defensive teams. So it's good to me. It's gonna be hard to get like cash game players out of this slate. Take a team. What do you want out of this game?
I'll go with South Carolina here. I can start off here. So, this game. Look at the tempo metrics. It's definitely going to be. There's definitely going to be pace here. South Carolina really just is not very good on offense. Arkansas. They had a huge win over the weekend. They beat LSU. Is that really? They were struggling for a little bit. So is that going to be their win that kind of gets them back to where I think everyone expected them to be? Possibly. There's really one guy on South Carolina. I'm looking, and it's more of. Not necessarily I love this player, but I do like the value when you're just talking about price here, and that's going to be Wildens Levique. He is 4.6K, minutes. He's usually in the high 20s. He kind of had a tough minutes game at Florida. I think that was a more matchup. I don't think he didn't do well against Castleton on Florida, so I think they kind of pulled him or, they were trying some other things. But I do like his matchup here. I do like the tempo, push here. I think he's going to have a nice game on the boards. One thing too that I really like about him, blocks and steals, and Arkansas, it's not that great in terms of handling the ball. So like I said, do I love this guy? No, but I do really like the price here. His game log's been a little tough, but, if you look at it, he's got some 26, 25, 28, 32, high teens, low 20s. Like I said, 4.6K gets a little boost in terms of tempo here. That's really going to be my main play from South Carolina. I think you can look at Stevenson too. He's a 7.2K, and he's got a couple. He's got a 40. He's got a couple 40s, a couple 30s. He just seems to struggle a little bit in terms of stepping up in class. I played him against Vandy, and he had 22 with about 10 minutes left in the second half, and I'm thinking, wow, maybe I'm going to get a 30 out of him, and he just did nothing the rest of the game. So really, like I said, their offense is not very good. And Levique he has the highest effective field goal percentage. So I think he'll get some easy looks here. You know how Arkansas plays, just a little wild. I think, like I said, it's more to me, this is more about a price play than anything. It's not necessarily my like for the player, but I think he's a good price. Definitely someone you can put in for some salary, for some guys I'll mention down the road that I really like in terms of kind of more expensive guys.
And news just came in. It looks like Hunter Dickinson is starting. Is actually playing. Looks like he's going to play against Maryland. So that's going to affect some value plays down the line. One play I don't mind for South Carolina tonight is Keyshawn Bryant. Here you got Keyshawn Bryant sitting at 3-2. He came back in the starting lineup last game.
Yeah.
Probably had one of his best games of the year. Put up 16 DK points in 19 minutes. And remember, this is a guy that actually was a leading returning scorer last year, all SEC preseason. He's got all kinds of talent. He could smash value tonight. But like I said, it's definitely a pace boost when you got South Carolina 34th in the nation, Arkansas 24th nation in pace. But my problem with South Carolina is they have such a deep rotation. So if I'm running GPPs, I would probably run Bryant out in a couple of my 3-2 because he can definitely nuke.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm assuming you agree, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't. So I wanted to know who. I guess on Arkansas, is there? It's such an interesting question too. I want to get is there anyone on Arkansas that you like to just avoid completely? This team is. How hard this team is to nail. I don't.
I've been avoiding pretty much the whole team all year, especially in cash. I can't deal with Coach Musselman with his rotations.
Yeah, no, he's wild. Are they? I was going to ask, I was looking at them today, doing some research, and they might be the most frustrating DFS team, I think, in the
definitely.
entire, them or Alabama. I don't know which one, but because I've played some Arkansas guys, and it's like they're 40 or 10. There's really no in between. So, I think you're making a good point. You just said is, don't get fooled by, sometimes you can get fooled by the team metrics, like the tempo and the offensive rating and stuff like that. This is a good opportunity. This is where you can find some value, just not really playing these guys. Cause you might get some people that are going to play, they're going to play their Noti, they're going to play Tony, they're going to play whoever, Davis, Williams, just because they see, high tempo game, high total game, something like that. So it's just I think it's more of like a good overall point, and don't always just fall victim to the team metrics here.
Oh, definitely. And there's not. We deal with this all the time. You fall in love with Devo Davis, and then now he's sitting there at 5-2 coming out, and now he's coming in as a 6 man, but he's seeing decent minutes. But you never know what Musselman's going to do with these guys. I think out of all of them, JD Ntae's not bad at 8-2, but that's actually a fair price for him. So you're not getting any kind of a break for 8-2. He's pretty much earned it now at that price. He's shooting one guy I have a little bit interest in is Tony at 4-2. And now it looks like Tony's becoming the old Note of like a month ago when Note was so cheap. So, he's a guard. He's underpriced. The problem is his game logs are all over the place, 19 and 5 and 16 and 32. But I do like him a little bit tonight, and probably more, if I'm making maybe 2 or 3 or 4 more lineups, mainly because of the price. He played almost 40 minutes against LSU, and he was decent. But he's not going to be in any of my cash lineups, but the guy's playing 30 minutes. And that's pretty much it. I mean, for if I'm making any kind of cash, Chris Lakes, I've always liked Lakes. He's got off the bench, he'll score. He'll play 20 minutes, but he's score reliant. He's a one-trick pony. Same with you got Trey Wade at 3-0. Everybody's on Wade on Saturday. He had that big game before that, and then the game before that was when he played 30 minutes against Missouri at 38 DK points. He had 20 minutes. He played 20 minutes against LSU, but didn't do anything at 7 DK. So Wade's cheap, and make them play. You have no idea what Musselman's going to do here. So if I'm playing anyone, it's going to be JD Rotate. At least I know he's going to score, get points. But I'm not paying 8-2 probably for Rotate in the main lineup. Pretty much how I look at it. So just pretty much stay away in DFS.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, very bad.
All right, next game we got is Maryland, Michigan. And this brings us back now. It looks like Hunter Dickinson is playing. We don't have any news on Brandon Johns. I got a funny feeling if Dickinson's playing, Johns will probably play. Everybody was on Terrence Williams a second to say there's a $3,100 price tag. He played for Dickinson the other day and had a decent game. I mean, I can't even say decent game. He played a bunch of minutes. You know what I mean? So. And that's all he did. He played a bunch of minutes. He put 3 shots, made 1, 2 rebounds. But once again, at $3,100 against Maryland, when they can pretty much have their way around Maryland, he was a play. But now Dickinson's playing. He's not in play. I'm not on Dickinson tonight. We don't know what Dickinson's going to play. Is he going to play 15 minutes? He's going to play 30. So I can't be on Dickinson. I'm not even probably on Moussa Diabate at 5'9". I think now he's too expensive if Dickinson's playing. So I'm not on any of these Michigan players really. No, if anything, maybe like Eli Brooks. He's playing almost 40 minutes, decent floor, but that's it. I'm not even touching his game probably right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was just thinking about like. I wouldn't bet Michigan, or I wouldn't bet either of these teams with someone else's money. I mean, this is just this game. I do not want anything to do with this game. I don't want to have to look at this game. I mean, you can look around, but the thing about this too is I'm looking at the prices right now, and especially on Maryland, I don't even see any value here. I mean, this is probably going to be a bit of a rock fest in terms of. I guess let me rephrase that. In terms of the higher usage players on Maryland, I think the prices are a little bit much here. I mean, just in terms of what the game script should look like, and then based on what else you have on the slate. To me, I mean, you could take a super contrarian outlook here and play from this game, but this just seems like one of those games where the highest score I'm going to say has 26. I mean, do you want to spend all your time looking for who that's going to be? I don't know. I mean, I know I like Dickinson too, but
I'm not. You can't play in the first game back after COVID. We weren't expecting him to even play today. If he goes out, if you're multi-entering, go ahead and throw him in there. There is a Maryland player though. I had Julian Reese at 3,800. If he does start again he started last game over Wahab, and he played 25 minutes at $3,800, 25 minutes. He's not, that's not a bad price. He's a big time rebounder. He's averaging 7 rebounds a game over his last 5.
Yeah.
But now with Dickinson in, that's obviously going to, if Reese is starting, I might think about him, but Dickinson in does kind of downgrade him a little bit. So actually, no, I'm probably not touching anybody from this game, actually.
Yeah, I say let's just move on. I think I think I'll take the lead here. We're going to go with Kansas, Oklahoma, which again, I think maybe some people might not realize Oklahoma, very underrated team. Metrics love them. I think it's a pretty solid team. They've had a very tough schedule, played really well. So we got Kansas minus 3.5 on the road. Kansas over under is 141. Tempo wise, you got two teams. Kansas a little bit on the higher end, Oklahoma on the slower end, but I would say nothing really crazy of note. We've seen both teams kind of go both ways, so not really, I think, like a big matchup dependent here. I'll take the lead here on. I'll go with Oklahoma. I like 2 players on here. Like I said, I think Oklahoma very underrated team. Kansas starting to figure things out. I think they had a much needed big win, West Virginia over the weekend. Really needed that one. They were kind of in a funk. But yeah, I'm going to look at Oklahoma here, and I like the prices on here. I think these guys are very cheap. I know their rotation's a little extended, and the coach, he's not afraid to pull guys, but I'm looking at two guys here. I know I'm going to get big minutes out of them, and they have good game logs against higher teams. So I'm looking at Tanner Groves here, 6.6K. Had 32 against Baylor. Like I said, not afraid, to go in. He had a completely dud 4 against Texas. I'm going to chalk that up to Texas is just an ugly team. They love to play defense. I think we have to talk about them later, sadly. But so I like him here at 6.6K. He's their highest usage player. Field goal efficiency very high. Doesn't turn the ball over. 22% defensive rebound rate. So I think he's going to go in. He's not going to be afraid to bang on the boards. Kansas has been having issues inside, trying to find that big man rotation. I think he's going to benefit here. Like I said, 32 against Baylor. Looking at he had 35 against UF against Castleton, who's obviously, if you played college DFS, Castleton. He had some solid, very impressive game logs. He had almost 30 against Arkansas. So I'm looking at the matchups. I think this is a good matchup for him, and I like him to go under-owned. I think a lot of people are going to skip over him, might not really recognize him. So, this is going to be one of my favorite plays of the night here. And then I'm going to look at one more guy, and that is Umoja Gibson here. He is guard, 6.3K. Another guy, he's going to get minutes. He's basically getting 30 minutes a night whenever the game is, a close game. And he's also a guy, he's not going to be afraid here. He had 27.8 DK points against Baylor. I'm referencing Baylor, obviously the class of the Big 12, even though they had a tough weekend. He's not going to be scared here. He's very good at controlling the ball, which is very important because Kansas is a good team in terms of steals, blocks, things like that. Mm-hmm. He's also good at getting steals himself, which is, that's a stat that I love. But he has a pretty consistent game log here. 20. Once again, he had an egg against Texas. That's the theme here for Oklahoma. So just going to toss that game out. That was an ugly game. Iowa State 22, Baylor 27, Kansas State 27. So this is a guy that can get into the high 20s, low 30s. Really like the price here. I think this game is going to be a little higher tempo. And I also like Oklahoma at home here too, plus 3.5. I think this is a good spot for them. I think they're going to win the game outright, but I'll take the 3.5 points here.
Nice call there, taking Oklahoma at home. And I agree. I agree with Gibson. And if you think about it, he's coming off road games against Baylor, Texas, TCU. Kansas defense is good, but it's actually not as good as as I don't think Baylor and Texas. So I don't mind the Gibson call at all. Leads team in points, leads team in steals. So good call there. Definitely on him. I'm also on Tanner Groves. I think he's a really good play, especially for that price. And it's a pace-up game. So good call there. On the Kansas side, I'm always on Christian Braun, definitely, especially when he's cheaper than Abajai. Definitely $20 cheaper. He's going to stuff the stat sheets for us, like him. Also, Jalen Wilson. I've been hurt by this kid probably more than he's been helped me. But once again, Wilson, he throws all these games at us where, he shows us all his promise, and then there's a dud. But I think Wilson right now, if he's starting at 6'4", he's pretty close to cash game for me. And I was looking back. What the last game was? The last game was West Virginia, I think it was. And West Virginia, he took 13 shots in that game, 8 rebounds. So I don't mind Jalen Wilson at all as long as he's starting at 6'4". Dave McCormick, if Dave McCormick starts, always you can throw him in GVPs. You can always maybe have that big game for you. More than not, he's probably going to flub for you. But this is more of a GVP game though to me too. I like the Gibson call. I like Groves, and I do like Jalen Wilson if he's starting. I always like Christian Braun. Yeah, no, I agree more there. I think that about covers it. Do you want to jump into because I know you want to talk about North Carolina and Miami, I'm sure. Yeah, let's go with that game. Actually, they said there's a question in Premium Room about can you play Devo Davis and No Tie together? Definitely. In GDPs, definitely. I would face-up game. I was going to say I
would almost, if you're going to play one, I think you should play both. I almost,
Good
you know,
point.
yeah, I was gonna say, if you're building a lineup there, I think if you're going to get, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I think they're going to be correlated in terms of their success. So especially those two. So that is a good question. But yeah, if I'm going to play one, I think I'm definitely going to find a pair, and I do like that pair. So to me, yeah, it's either, pair them up, get a stack going, or, you don't really want to just have one guy for one of those games, just because in terms of how, like, their game flow goes, and like we touched on with Arkansas.
Exactly. Totally agree. All right. North Carolina, Miami. Game here. Huge pace-up game. We got in Miami, North Carolina, 2.5-point favorite. I have on the road. So Miami's home dogs, 154.5 over under. I think I had that as actually the highest total of the night. So big pace-up game. Two bad defensive teams. So you want pieces of this game in your lineup. I'll take Miami. I'm all over Can't McGusty tonight. I love McGusty. I think his price is back down to 7.6. I think actually, he was up in the 8s. I know, wasn't it last week? He was up to 9. He was up to actually 9K against Florida State, down to 7.6. Last 5, 24% usage, playing almost 40 minutes. Give him 17 points a game. I'm over McGusty. I think McGusty's one of the top plays of the night. He's probably the only one I'll be looking at cash in this game. I know we all know about Charlie Moore. To me, Moore, we're still waiting for the wheels to fall off, but I'll play him again in GVP. Now that he's up the same price as McGusty, his price is finally caught up to him. It's going to come a night when Moore is going to catch up to him, his wheels are going to fall off. But maybe not tonight. But I'm all about McGusty. I love Wong too. I think Wong's a decent price, but it's only $100 left, $100 less than Cameron. I'm all over Cameron. Wardenberg and Miller are pretty much just average plays. Give me all I can of McGusty, and that's it. His rates across the board are way too good. I have him projected like 34, 35 points tonight. So McGusty for Miami. Give me North Carolina.
Yeah, I think, I just really don't see how you don't play Baycott here at 9K. I know it's expensive, but I think he's, I think he should be 10K here. You look at his number one, we can talk about his game log, 46, 62, 43, 44, 43, 40, you get the picture. Then let's look at Miami. Let's look at the matchup. 302nd offensive rebounding, 284th defensive rebounding. Yeah, I'm not saying that North Carolina is going to blow them out or anything or even win, but just in terms of defensive rebounding, rebounding where Baycott is obviously going to thrive, and blocks too. That's another important thing here too. Miami, I'm looking at basically the shares of where they're shooting. Most, 35% of their offense is coming inside, and they're shooting 65% inside. So I think they're, naturally a lot of their players, they want to attack inside. And I think that's what's really, turned this team around. 35% share from the outside in terms of 3-pointers, and then the rest is, kind of just 2-point jumpers. But yeah, this is a team that's going to want to go inside. So I think once again, that's going to benefit Baycott here. Like I said, I know he's 9K, but I just don't see how you don't play him. I think he's going to be heavily owned, obviously, but this seems like the perfect matchup for him. And, obviously you've seen what he's done. So yeah, that's where I'm going to start. And I'm also, I'm not going to be afraid here, to play Maine either at 6.6K for a lot of the same reasons I just highlighted. Is he going to pick up the pace here to kind of when Backout's out, or, he's, maybe tired or anything like that? I think so. I'm not going to be afraid to play two big guys on the same team. I've done it before and it's worked. I'm not going to be afraid, to do it here. And just what I think is a great matchup. I think it's going to be almost kind of an opposite game. I think Miami's obviously, they're going to need to score from outside. Like you said, McGusty, Wong, Moore, they're going to have to carry the load. And I think North Carolina is going to find out, our advantage is inside. So let's go inside. And I'm not crazy about any North Carolina guards. I don't know what you think, but I think their big, mismatch here is inside. I think they got to take advantage of it. This is not going to be an easy game for them on the road, though. I think, what did you say? What was the line here? But yeah, it's UNC -2. So basically they're telling you it's going to be an even game. Total is 154, so it's going to be a ton of points. Yeah, I mean, I like both of those guys, and they've both had games where they both had big numbers. So I'm not going to be afraid to play both of them. Those are going to be my two top plays from North Carolina.
Yeah, but Kai has scored over 40 DK points since December 18th every game.
Yeah,
and double-digit rebounds. One other play we want to actually look at in this game is Dawson Garcia. Okay. Garcia is back now. He's only the main thing is only 4'4". So, I mean, I think he missed 2 games with a concussion. Came back. So, I think he's a simple matchup. Miami. We know he's not starting, but I could definitely see Garcia getting 4 to 5 times, 5 times his value at 4'4". Yeah. So no problem. Garcia is actually one of my sneakier plays tonight, especially in GPPs.
And 41 against Purdue.
Yeah, definitely. So
yeah.
Good. Kill above RJ Davis, GBP plays. And that's it. We want a piece of this game, right? You want 1 or 2 pieces of this game, definitely. At least 2. I would say 2.
I was going to say, I would say you got to have at least 1 or 2 on every lineup you make of this one.
So now we just another tweet came out saying Hunter Dickinson and Brandon Johns are warming up for Michigan, but Johns is warmed up last game, didn't play. So we won't know for sure until starting lineups are announced in about an hour. So we're not positive on Dickinson playing. So especially with these college beat writers, I wouldn't believe anything until I see the starting lineups. So we got to pay attention to this Michigan game. Next game we got in the slate, UConn Butler. We do have some DFS plays, but once again, remember this is a very slow game. Butler plays a very slow, decent defense, even though they kind of suck. But it is going to be a slow game. Who do you want to take in this?
Yeah, you can take the wheel here. This was one of those games where I looked away, but I'll share my thoughts. But yeah, for the most part, if this. I just think there's a lot of value elsewhere. But yeah, you go ahead and I'll jump in.
Well, I want to see in Butler's Bo Hodges. I mean, once again, when Bo Hodges is only 3-2, we know what good of a player he is. I played him this weekend. This is not the game to play him though in this type of environment. But he can definitely go off. But no, I'm not playing. Hopefully we'll play him this weekend. His price stays low. Connecticut, it's all about Adamas Sinalgo. To me, he's a core play, mainly because, yes, it's a slower game, but you got Snogo. The last 2 games, he's averaging 50 DK fantasy points for the last 2 games, 34 rebounds in the last 2 games. Butler is bad inside, so he should crush. He's gonna be high owned though, especially because of his price. His price is only 6.5. So since he came back from his injury, he's been dominant. 48 DK points and 63 DK points. I mean, these stat lines are crazy. Blocking shots, clean up the glass. To me, is a core play. But that's probably it. I love playing Tyrese Martin, but I just think it's this is probably kind of a too slow of a game. Especially with Snogo back, Martin's rebounds are going down. So probably Martin's more in GVP territory. I don't mind Isaiah Whaley. I actually kind of like him, but I'm not going to go crazy over him. I'm all about Snogo, and that's it from this game. Too slow of a game for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think like you said, it's one of those games where you can look elsewhere. I guess on Connecticut, one guy I like to play a lot is Andre Jackson. He does very well. I think he's I believe 5.7K. He's going to get a lot of minutes. He kind of just does everything, not really specializing in anything, but he can get a steal, he can get rebounds, he can get an assist, block. He can shoot a little bit. So that would be the one guy I would focus. But yeah, honestly, I'm going to look elsewhere. But yeah, and speaking of looking elsewhere, if you want to jump onto the next game, we got Texas.
Yep,
Texas and Kansas State, and I believe here. Let me pull up. I'm pulling up the line. 1 second. We got where is this? Yeah, sorry about this, but I do like. I know I mentioned, Texas minus 10.5 at home against Kansas State. The metrics still love Texas overall. Just a very tough team to get a read on just in terms of, their usage and the rotation and everything. I'm really just going to look at one guy here, and it's a value play, something that I'm definitely going to use for salary relief, and that is forward Trey Mitchell. So basically, yeah, you kind of look at his game log. Started off, he was a starter in the beginning of the season. You look at his price. I'm going to go through his price here. You got 5,600, 6,000, 6,300, 6,700, 7,300, 7,800. That's from the beginning of the season through midseason. Basically, he got hurt. I believe he was on the COVID list. He got hurt against Oklahoma, played 2 minutes out. Played 16 minutes last week or over the weekend against Iowa State, had 10 fantasy points. And I kind of like him to, get back to the rotation. Chris Beard actually mentioned something saying, yeah, he's going to be full go against Iowa State. Wasn't really full go, and then said after the game, yeah, he should be, we wanted to kind of get his feet wet again. Now he's going to be full go. So I think he's 3.3K. I'm sure, some people notice that, or, it might be a little higher owned, but very, very good play at the price. I think he can definitely get 15, which at 3.3K, I'll sign me up, especially in cash or, any GPP or anything, especially if you're playing, some of the guys you mentioned, like if you're playing Baycat at 9K, you throw Mitchell in there, you kind of keep your average salary at bay. So yeah, that's really beside that though. I can't really stand anyone on the rotation in terms of Texas. I don't know if you like anyone in Kansas State.
Yeah, if Trey Mitchell starts, he's probably my main lineup at 3-3. He's just too good of a player.
Yeah.
Going back to end of December, he was putting up 30, 35 DK points a game. If he starts, he's going to play probably 25 plus minutes. He's going to smash 3-3. So, yeah, like the Mitchell call. Another call I like for Texas, and I don't see too many people on him tonight. I've been on him as I really like Andrew Jones at 5'8". He's been playing much better since the Big 12 started. 4 games in the Big 12, he's averaging 16 points, 5 rebounds. I always think Andrew Jones is a great cash play, so I like Andrew Jones. The problem is this game, when you got Bruce Weber against Chris Beard, man, it's a slow-ass game.
Yeah.
Really, you can't play really anybody from this game in cash. So, but when you got a value like a Trey Mitchell, then you can. But it's too slow of a game. I do like Andrew Jones a little bit. Courtney Ramey, 5'2", prices up a little bit though, but he's getting his minutes. Not going to play him though, so too slow of a game. Keep an eye out. And we got a lot of news we got to watch tonight, so got to keep an eye out on Trey Mitchell. Now in this game, Tennessee, Vanderbilt trying to push it along a little bit. Now Tennessee Vanderbilt game, we got Tennessee on the road, 6.5 point favorites. I have 135 over under. I don't have much interest actually in this game. No, I have Scottie Pippen in GBP play always. I love Kennedy Chandler in GBP play only. Honestly, that's it. Do you have anybody? I know Vescovi's been playing well. But
yeah, I'd say I can. Yeah, I like. I really like one guy in Tennessee, and that's going to be. I'm probably going to butcher his last name, but it's Oliver Nakahuma. He's 5.3K. He's going to be the big man. Kind of had a little bit of a tough game, but I really like this bounce back spot. I really like the matchup here. Like his minutes. 20% defensive rebounding rate, 10% offensive rebounding rate, 57% effective field goal percentage, 6.7% block percentage. So basically, yeah, he's a nice presence inside for Tennessee. I think we had this before last week with Oscar T. Absolutely demolished Vanderbilt's interior. I know that they are not even on the same level, but I like this matchup for him here. I think it's a good bounce back spot. 5.3K. Definitely going to play him in some GPP. The 2 Tennessee guys, I do like the Scavi. Another reason why too is, I like his steal rate. He's got 4% steal rate. Yep. Him and Chandler are very similar in terms of steals. So yeah, I wouldn't shy away from either of them. Vanderbilt does turn the ball over quite a bit. So definitely like both of them there. And then in terms of Vanderbilt, yeah, I think you can play Pippen just because of scoring ability, obviously, but not really going to look at anyone else besides that.
There's one guy we got to look at though. No one we didn't mention. John Fulkerson's like 4.6. He got tanked against Kentucky, but we all know Fulkerson. When we give up on a guy, and he comes up and has a huge game. Yeah. So GDP only, but if you're multi-entering, throw him in a lineup. 4.6, you could do a lot worse than John Fulkerson.
Yeah. No.
Right. Wisconsin, Northwestern, take it over.
Yes, I can take this. So yeah. Interesting game here. I actually think Northwestern, huge win over the weekend, beat Michigan State on the road. This team is decent. This is not kind of the Northwestern that we're used to. I know they went to a tournament a few years ago, but this is actually a pretty solid team. Very good on offense, actually. Defense, so, but offense is very good. I think Davis. Obviously, you got to start with Johnny Davis. I'm gonna play quite a bit of him, and we can talk about how good he is and what he's usage and all this. And yes, all that's great. 28 last game, 32, 45, 68 against Purdue. Obviously, maybe that might have been the best fantasy performance of the season. I'm not sure. But yeah, one thing that I really like about him in this game, which I think can, push him over his value. Obviously, he's 9.3K, so we're going to need a lot of points to, get where we want. Northwestern 317th in free throw rate defense. So basically what that means is they're hacking a shit ton. They're fouling a ton of guys a lot. Johnny Davis, he has 83 free throw attempts, which is most on the team by a pretty decent margin. He's made, he's shooting 80% too. So I think he's really going to be able to attack this defensive side. And, we know what he's going to do everywhere else, rebounding, assists, just the little things, just amazing player. But yeah, I think that's one thing I noted was I think that free throw rate is going to push him over the top here and kind of, get him over that value. I think, we're probably going to need 40 here to get in terms of, if you want him in a winning lineup. And I think he definitely gets a lot of that just because I think he's going to go inside. And then on Wisconsin, another guy I'm going to play. I'm gonna play a double backboard here. So I like Brad Davis at 7.1K. I mean, you might get some people that are, I think he goes underlooked quite a bit. He's a pretty solid 3-point shooter. He made 4 last game. He's got some 3-4s. I mean, he's gonna put shots up and he's gonna get a ton of minutes. And he does little things too, like steals, assists, rebounds. But yeah, I really like his price, and I'm not afraid to play double backcourt because both these guys are going to be on the floor for 38, 37 minutes as long as the game is close, which spread is 2. So it's good. It's expected to be a close game. But yeah, I'm going to play Davidson. He's a GPP play because he's very sporadic, I would say. But one reason I really like him here is Northwestern is 210th in defending the 3. And, Wisconsin, they are going to chuck the 3. So, yeah, I like those 2 plays. I mean, not any groundbreaking, but I'm not going to, I will make one note. I think a lot of people are, they want to look at Wall just based on what he's done recently. And, yeah, you have to be impressed. But I don't really like this matchup for him here. Northwestern, they have Nance, which I'm sure you'll talk about. They're pretty – I think they're decent inside. I think this is going to be a game Wisconsin has to win on the perimeter. And I think, that's why I'm going to play Davison and Davis.
Yeah, and Johnny Davis, you can play him in any lineup you want. I mean, he's a stud. He's elite. I just see Wall and Davidson as GDP because of their price. But hey, that's how you get an edge over people too. Taking a little risk. Northwestern side, everything I'm seeing is pointing toward Pete Nance being out. I'm a huge Pete Nance guy. I love the guy. If he plays though, I mean, Wisconsin's given up 60% of their opponent's points from the 2. I just saw a stat here. Thank you, Cbb Dfs actually threw a stat out here. So great option. If Nance isn't starting, go right to Ryan Young. Ryan Young at 5K. I think Ryan Young's a great. You can't call it a value at 5K. I'm going right to Ryan Young because great rebounding rates. He played a great game against Michigan State. 34 DK points, 8 rebounds. Normally it's like a 12 to 15-minute player, 16-minute player. If Nance is out, I'm all over Ryan Young at 5K. If Nance is in, great GBP play. There's obviously some better, but I just don't like Nance's price. But I love Ryan Young today at 5K if Nance doesn't play. To me, he's a core play. He's a core play of core value play. Yeah. 2 games left. Texas Tech. Iowa, or 3 games. Texas State, Iowa State. I'm not going to spend too much time in this game. This is another slower game. I love Bryce Kevin McCullough. I love Isaiah. I love Brock. All these guys, between all GBP plays because great defenses. Let me see. Texas Tech, the 3rd ranked efficiency defense in the country. Iowa State, their defense is really well. Also, to me, it's a great game to watch, but not much for DFS.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at McCullough here at 6.8K. A lot of the reason,
McCullough, right?
Yeah, I'd say a lot. I mean, I think he's definitely more of a GBP play, but I think he's gonna fill out the stat sheet here. But yeah, besides that, I think we got 2 games at the end here though that, in terms of fantasy, are much more appealing.
Exactly. So let's hit it for our last 10 minutes. Duke, Florida State. Let me see here. Why can't I find? I got Duke. They're in Tallahassee. Tough environment on the road. Duke's a 5-point favorite. Decent pace up. I mean, let me see. Duke's pace 79th in the country. Florida State 142nd. We do have a value play here on the Florida State side. I guess I'll take that. As long as we know Malik Osborne if Osborne is out. Raekwon Evans is catching a lot of love today at $4,500. He had a great game last game. He's gonna probably pop here again today as long as Osborne is out. I like Matthew Cleveland, but man, you can't you don't know what Leonard Hamilton's gonna do here. I'm even afraid to play Evans. I know Evans is gonna be really popular tonight. But now Evans has got double digit scoring in back-to-back games. He's got some steals. The Duke defense doesn't scare me. So I know Evans is going to be popular. I'm probably going to have Evans in my main lineup, but I could get burned. I keep messing with Leonard Hamilton. I'm going to get burned again here, though. But I do like Evans. He's the only one I do like. I love Cleveland, GBP play only, and that's it. I love Caleb Mills, GBP play, but that's it. As long as Osborne's out, I'm all over Raekwon Evans tonight.
Yeah, no, that's actually I was actually doing a little bit of kind of lineup construction, and yeah, I think especially with that injury, you got to look there. Do you look at Cleveland like you said? Yeah, but it's very tough. I think we actually mentioned this on the show last week. I said I'm going to play Cleveland as long as he's under 5K, and now he's at 5.5K. So I think you have you can definitely look at Evans here at 4.5K, and why not? I am going to look at one guy at Duke. This is actually, just in terms of kind of historical value, Tallahassee has not been very kind to Duke. They've always struggled here. Yep. They've had some very good teams that have gone in here and lost. And Florida State's +5. I'm actually going to take a piece of that. I think this is just going to be a tough kind of situation for Duke. So yeah, I'm going to take that +5. But I'm going to look at one guy at Duke, and that's going to be Keels here at 7.7K. I just, watching kind of Florida State recently, I have some family ties to Florida State, so I watch a little bit of them. But, Miami really chopped them up, I think, on the perimeter. McGusty and Moore, those guys had a day against Florida State. Obviously, I think we highlighted Moore. What did he have, 40 against, or was it McGusty? Somebody had 40 against Florida State. So I'm going to look at Keels here. I think he has a big game on the perimeter. I think Florida State's obviously they're going to want to go inside and try to stop inside, and it's easier said than done. But I think they're going to try to focus there, and I think Keels is in a good spot to have a big game. So yeah, this is definitely a good game to watch too. So
yeah, and to me the problem with Duke is they're all overpriced because they're way too expensive, especially a tough game on the road. I do have to mention AJ Griffin. I think he's going to be lower owned, and he was a big prize the other day, and nobody was on him. But I can definitely look at AJ Griffin. GBP's at 5.5. Everybody else is GBP only. And let's get to the last game. Clemson and my Syracuse Orangemen. To me, it's the marquee game of the night. DFS purposes. Yes, it's pretty much it's the third highest game total. I have it at only 146.5, but even Clemson this year, 49th ranked offensive efficiency. Syracuse 30th ranked. It's not a lot of great DFS plays for cash. For Syracuse, I'm all over Cole Swider. I think Cole Swider is great safe play at 6.6. His projections are great. He's pretty much him and Jimmy Boeheim are pretty much close, but I do give the edge to Swider right now, especially with the rebounding. His usage is down a little bit, but I just think he's very safe at 6.6. He's probably going to be not a core play, but probably going to be in my cash lineup. Buddy Boeheim, GBP play only, but when Buddy gets high, he can run to sleep.
Yep.
All these guys. And Jesse Edwards, great play also, but now Edwards is 7-6. But Syracuse, it's all about, to me, Cole Swider for cash.
Yeah. I'll highlight Clemson. This is one of my favorite guys here. And I think he's a great spot for him. It's going to be PJ Hall.
Exactly. Yep.
7.9K.
I love Hall tonight too.
Love him tonight. I think he eats it up tonight.
Yep.
I think there's a lot of, the one thing I don't really like about Clemson, their guards. I've gotten burned by their guards quite a bit. You got Dawes, you got Honor, you can go a few different ways. Collins, they're just, they're very hot and cold. I guess, gun to my head, I'll go with Dawes, but I'm really going to focus on Hall. And then, like you said, on Syracuse. So I think, like you said, this is a game, interesting game. You can go a lot of different ways. And I think there's going to be a couple guys here that have big numbers.
Great. And, I know Hall's probably more of a GBP play. He may be in my cash lineup, though. I mean, Clemson's coming up a couple losses right now. Notre Dame, Boston College. They need to win. Hall's got to be the best player in the court tonight, and I think he does. His upside, he's got monster upside. His last couple of games have not been great, but this is a great game for him. I could see PJ Hall could be one of the highest scoring players of the night. He could nuke the slate. He could also kill you. We've seen it happen to PJ Hall before. One other player though is this kid Nas Bohannon, $3,600. A great rebounder. A lot of people don't even know who he is, but great rebounder. He's put up decent points for GBPs. So that's another name to keep in the back of your head, Nas Bohannon.
Yeah, good. That's a good value there.
That's it. 6:30. We're getting close. Almost close to the lock. Who is your play of the game? Who's your top play of the slate right now? I'll say this favorite play, regardless of price, it's going to be Bacon at 9K. I know that's not really shocking the world for anyone, but right.
mid range, kind of the guy that I'm really going to try to get a lot is going to be Groves on OU, 6.6K. Really like the spot for him. Think he's going to have a big game. And then, in terms of value, I think, like I said, once again, not really, rocking the world here, but I'm going to go Trey Mitchell, 3.3K. I mean, it's going to be hard to leave him off. That's a ridiculous price, and you don't want to get burned by him. So I think you got to have him in a lot too. What about you?
Yeah, yep, agree. If Mitchell's starting, love him. I like PJ Hall as my sneaky play. Love Becat as my top play. Ryan Young as my a 5K. I wouldn't call him a value. Probably my top value play as long as Nance is out. So Hall, Ryan Young, and Armando Becat. And I think that's it. It's almost 6:30. So people, we have half-hour lock. We got some lineups to make. If anybody's have any questions, I don't see any questions in the YouTube room. I guess that's it. Riley, thank you for coming on again tonight. It's going to be a good slate. And I think it's going to be a little bit less chalky than normal. So we still got to find out this Michigan news. Is Dickinson's plans? Is he actually starting or not? And Pete Nance news. And to me, it's Trey Mitchell news. That's the three big news items of the night.
Yeah. Let's go Oklahoma and Florida State.
Go Syracuse, go Miami. Thank you to Mickey, our producer, and we are out of here.
All right. You guys have a good day.